Have we passed the bottom of the real estate gully, or are we simply about to see the beginning of the end this fall? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in again. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below. Join the crew of people who are keeping tabs on the real estate market around you in Toronto. And if you really like this video, hit the like button so this will be pushed out to more people like yourself. All right, so I really wanted to just focus in on the stats of what we have today right now so we can kind of focus on what's going to happen in the future with the real estate market, especially going into the fall, which typically is a pretty busy season for real estate. And if you have any questions about what I go over in this video, or you'd like to just chat about real estate with me, feel free to use the link in the description below to book a time to chat with me at a time that is most convenient for you. Or feel free to just shoot me any question you have to adam@visionrealestate.ca, and I will shoot you a personal video response within 24 hours. All right, so let's first take a second to look at benchmark price and what it's been doing over the past, well, since COVID, because that's when everything really started to go nuts. This is a chart showing the benchmark price and a composite one for Toronto. So we all know the peak of the market was in March of 2022 when we hit the average sale price of just over 1.2 million. Kind of hard to see in that chart there, but if you see when things really bottomed out, it was the winter, and in particular in December, where we had seen a pretty significant drop of about 20%. But since then, we've had a really busy spring, and the summer seems to be busy as well, even though we just saw 2 rate hikes that were pretty significant. So while we may still yet see a few rate hikes coming our way, either in the later half of this year or in 2024, inflation is definitely cooling and confidence is starting to return to the marketplace a little bit more. Now, I've discussed this a lot in my past videos, but immigration is just like this massive demand factor that we are seeing in our market right now, as we have so many people looking for a place to live, and no one can find anything right now. People are not exactly excited about the concept of selling and then buying and moving because, well, if you're going to sell in this market, it's going to be a tough market to sell in, but then you're also going to be searching for something that's not there because inventory is so low. And we can see this reflected in the statistics. So the way that we measure how hot a marketplace is using what's called months of inventory. It's basically just a consumption rate. And how we calculate this number is by taking the current amount of inventory that we have and dividing it by the average number of sales happening per month. Now, when we have very low sales volume, what happens is it pushes the months of inventory up, but that can also be pushed up by extremely high inventory as well. But what we've been seeing since the absolute bottom of the market back in December is that really low inventory is actually pushing months of inventory a lot lower because sales volume is steadily starting to increase. Now, to give you an idea of what this number means, any number that is between 0 and 3 is a seller's market. Anything between 3 and 5 is a pretty balanced market. And then anything over 5 is a buyer's market. And the closer that you get to 0, the hotter the market is. Currently in Toronto, we are sitting at 1.9 months of inventory. So regardless of what the media headlines may be saying in order to get views or clicks or what have you, our consumption rate is actually pretty healthy. Total residential transactions are up year over year by 7.8%. However, we still are seeing a seasonal summer trend, which is pretty typical, where we see things slow down in terms of sales volume. So month over month, they're actually down 8.8%. And we see that reflected in price yet again, where the year over year number for average price is up 4.2%, which is pretty significant considering the amount of interest rate hikes we've seen over the last 12 months. And month over month, it hasn't really moved. We are at 0.7% of a change in average price month over month. And when it comes to inventory, although year over year we are up by 11.5%, the actual sales to new listings ratio is down by 2%. What this means is that our consumption rate is a lot healthier than it was last year. We have very low inventory and a steadily increasing or a steadily rising rate of sales compared to last year. So while yes, this has been a much slower summer season for real estate because we did see 2 interest rate bumps happen right as we entered the summer, I do think that we are going to see a bit of a busier seasonal trend for the fall simply because we just don't have inventory and consumer confidence seems to be picking up. So overall, I think that we're going to see a pretty regular fall season for real estate where things are a little bit busier. We may not see massive price growth, but overall, it'll be busy. We're not going to see a stagnant fall like we did last year as consumer confidence was completely in the toilet in 2022. And I know that this is completely contrary to everything you're seeing in the headlines, but I just try to go based on the actual data, the statistics that I'm seeing right now. I'm trying really hard not to just throw a title up there that's just going to be clickbaity just so I can get some views. I really want to just give people an understanding of what the data is saying and what we can expect from the current data that we have, instead of speculating with a tinfoil hat that everything's going to collapse and we're just going to have a doomsday apocalypse upon us. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a black swan event coming that everybody can see, yet no one can see. But I just don't think that that's really the case for 2023. But hey, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that we are going to see a busier fall season, or are we just on the verge of a huge real estate collapse like the headlines are saying and I'm just missing it? Either way, thanks for tuning in again. I really appreciate everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I work hard to bring this content and I really hope that you find it valuable. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.